Congress, it's a certain standard of living that we've become accustomed to. And because we have parasites draining our reservoirs, there's not enough left for me and you and everybody else. Like in Chicago, we're spending $600 million a year housing illegal aliens by the tens of thousands, 60,000 Venezuelans, while regular Americans are dying in the streets and on the trains and given nothing. There's no beds and shelters. There's no cash handouts for these people, but for the illegal alien population to support the Democrat voting initiatives, they have housing, food, monthly stipends. That's the type of terrorists we're dealing with. Anti-American traitors, betrayers of America, betrayers of the voters, betrayers of the taxpayers. These are clown terrorists. And if you're not involved politically fighting against Clown World, you got to stand up and fight. Fight, 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 fight.
He trolling. He don't mean none of that shit he's saying. I really wanted to know because I'm in the audience. He don't mean none of that shit he's saying. I just be wanting to know what people mean by the American way of life. I don't actually think that people know what the fuck they mean when they say that, to be honest with you. I don't think that they have a conceptual, like, this is what when I'm looking at America and how we got this far, this means that to me. I hear a lot of entitlement. I hear a lot of, and maybe I'm biased because I've been in the Army my whole adult life, right? So it probably do mean something different to me. But what does it mean to the civilian or the businessman or the clergyman? Like, what does it mean? I've had these conversations with people, and I'm in real life, and they give me a lot of brilliant shit, right? Things I've never really thought about because I think it from a serviceman's perspective. But what does that mean?
I mean, I think for most Americans, it would be you have the freedoms that are constitutionally afforded to us. I would say when it comes to things like, I don't know, if you do everything right, at least the status quo or the overwhelming majority of everyday Americans who work hard, they can at least have a fucking house, afford to have kids, obviously not live in luxury. And I think a lot of people see that like slipping away, especially the affordability of having kids in a home. And that's really like, I think that's what's really upsetting a lot of young people. And I kind of agree with them.
So, okay, Pep, so I don't necessarily disagree with that ideal, but I guess when I think of it, I think of the opportunity for a tyrant to not get in the way, the opportunity for a tyrant not to get in the way of you progressing your life and your family's life, right? And also not get in the way of what other people got going on. What's up, bro? You get what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I think it's the government's job, and I think we're probably saying the same thing. I think it's a lot of overlap. I don't think it's the government's job to make sure that you got enough money to do nothing. I think it's the government's job to make sure that things are fair and equitable, and other people, including the government, don't get in you and your family's way. As long as you ain't fucking with nobody else, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. You get what I'm saying? As long as you ain't fucking with nobody else, though.
Yeah, no, I largely agree.
Sounds to me like you might be a libertarian. Small government, small problems. Less taxes, less problems. It's not home ownership. You're renting from Democrats and teachers unions. You don't own anything. The Democrats run your life. They run the budget. They run the accounting. They run the borrowing. They run the spending. They run the schools. They run the mayoral office, the governorship. They run the Congress. They run the Senate. And they'll be back in the White House soon enough if we don't stop them. If you're not involved in politics, you have to get involved. You have to run. You have to work with people that are running. It's not about the party. It's about the character. There are some good Democrats, but it's a 1%. So many of them are just traitors and betrayers. So many of them themselves are illegal aliens just recently put here ruling over us. We've given it all up because we spent 25 years engaged in a Fugazi war. The war was here at home. The contractors won. George Bush won. Dick Cheney won. But we are the losers because we've neglected personal responsibility and management here at home. And now we've let socialist Democrats take over. The debt is real. It's not going away. Every billion, every trillion, we lose our sovereignty. We lose our power. We're giving it up to an international banking cartel.
Marge, I've got a question. So what do you propose to change all of this?
Just ignore what I said. It's almost like I'm a ghost. Hello? Is anybody even hearing me? Hello? Does anybody's brain here register what I just said? Hello? Hello? I just want to confirm. Can you hear me? Hello?
Wish somebody couldn't at this motherfucker, man. So either way, March.
Why, Riyabia, you agree with me about the banking cartels. I just don't understand why you guys are so passive aggressive.
No, it's not gonna fucking work because it's fucking dumb. If you really think about it, with the political sphere right now, it's going back and forth between a Republican and Democrat. If we let's say let the Democrats win one more time, let their fucking bullshit happen again. Hey, who knows? We might get a population that's going to go against them in the far future. It's think of it like a long-term 3D, 4D chess of population. Let them win next time. Most likely they're going to lose that shit again.
Well, it's not about the Republicans or the Democrats. It's about the character and the virtue of the candidates running. The globalists like Soros, they'll buy everybody out. And when you get into the Republican politics, you realize there's a lot of Democrats pretending to be Republicans. They've completely infiltrated the entire Republican Party. They're fake Republicans. They're not real conservatives. If you're a real Republican, you're basically a libertarian. You believe in small government. You believe in small taxes. You believe in home ownership. You don't believe in teachers' unions ruining your children's brain with LGBTQ trans propaganda. We live in a fallen cultural society. We live in a politically fallen legal industrial complex. Democrat judges control everything. Democrat judges release prisoners with electric monitors that we as taxpayers spend millions of dollars a month on, and they come back out into the population and kill us. These electronic monitors don't do shit. We need the Attorney General to start arresting Democrat judges in scale and eliminating the illegality of the legal political industrial complex. We need a complete change in this country, and if Trump doesn't give us change, he's full of shit himself, and he's not mogging America.
No, that's enough. Come on.
You know what I'm saying is true. You just don't like maybe my voice. Maybe I'm too nasally. Maybe my nose is too big.
Hey, brother, what's the debate? Talking about ICE operations still, or are we is the conversation?
You know what? It's pretty funny.
What?
Well, it's not funny. I mean, it is kind of sad. Was that guy who got shot? As far as the lesbian bitch who lost custody of her kids getting shot, I don't really care for her. I think that's kind of funny. But as far as this past guy, though, he didn't seem like he was a bad guy, but he's pretty fucking stupid. I don't know why he would even get into a tangle with the cop.
He's getting military burial honors. They're playing taps for him at the hospital draped in an American flag. The guy went to Afghanistan, fought for his country, died over there. Huh? He's a fucking hero. Give him the Bronze Star. He's impeding law enforcement, removing illegal alien invaders who are criminals. We live in fucking clown world, people.
Well, I don't know, but he was definitely showing up with a gun. If you're peacefully protesting, you don't show up with a fucking gun.
You can show up. No, this is where I push back. I love how so many of these faggot right wingers are all of a sudden like, you don't bring a gun to a protest. I'm not for Second Amendment. Like, this is bullshit. You can bring a gun to a protest. What you don't do is
peacefully protesting.
You don't get into a physical. You don't get physical with fucking cops.
Well, yeah, obviously. Honestly, Pepe, you're the only faggot here, bro. Listen to your voice, for real.
But Mountain, listen, man. Listen, hold up. Wait, hold up, man. Wait.
I gave you that.
Wait, Mountain. How did? Okay, what's your thoughts on what Kyle Rittenhouse did a couple years ago when he brandished a whole fucking assault rifle, regardless of what he was going down there to do? Alleged.
Regardless, it's stupid to go places with a gun, man, if you don't want problems.
Yeah, but my thing is, though, I mean, that's what, but here's the thing, though. He's brandishing an assault rifle
All right, walking
And so
down the
was
street.
the other protester that attacked him.
And then here it is.
Forgot
This
about the guy who pointed
has
the gun at him, right?
that's in his holster. All right. Like, I mean, I don't know.
You forgot about the other protester who pointed the pistol at him, right?
The other protesters had guns. He went down there directly for a physical confrontation. All right. So, you know, if you're smart and you don't want to have issues, you wouldn't go down there.
That's just your opinion.
But with that being said,
physical confrontation.
so with that being said, the dude had his gun in his holster, just like anybody else that would conceal carry, open carry, just like anybody else, right? But for whatever reason, this individual, you're sitting there condemning him for having a gun in his holster.
And then he attacked federal agents with a gun in his holster.
How did he attack federal agents when he was he was in the vicinity, but he didn't fucking throw. He didn't push.
No, he was trying to stop. He was trying to protect that woman apparently from getting arrested.
No, he was breaking her up.
Fucking with the cops. Did whatever, man.
So
We
right,
fought-
You don't show up to a peaceful protest with a strap, bro. So stop with the bullshit.
Exactly.
So,
Pepe's retarded.
Hey, if that's what you pushing,
peaceful protest.
pushing.
No,
You saying that you gonna say, hey, let me ask you this: you sending your kids out there to peaceful protest with straps, with guns?
First and foremost, I don't go to
Let me know, bro. I'm just trying to figure out what you trying to justify
I've seen
here.
protests
What about
when
you,
I've
Pepe?
been
What do you think
downtown,
that
but that doesn't mean that I would go up and go strapped in a protest. But even with all that being said, it's your Second Amendment right to have a gun. I see motherfuckers
Not to fucking go there and
downtown
protest with a
all
gun.
the time strapped the fuck up.
If I'm working a job where niggas is steady running up on me, shooting at me, trying to burn my car, running up on my hotel rooms and shit, hey man, you can get it. I don't even care what you talking about. Anybody look suspicious, any of that shit, bro, hey, man, that's some extra shit, you gonna get it.
Let's be
I ain't
real.
risking my life for no reason.
But Mountain, the reality is though, is if you actually supported the Second Amendment, you can go to a fucking protest armed. I mean, I personally wouldn't go in carrying because that's just kind of making you a target. But he didn't do anything wrong up until the point that he should have never. He should have just given himself up when the cop was trying to detain him.
Pepe, you gotta understand, as a Second Amendment rights guy, man, you have to have responsibility. You got to know when to have it and not and stuff. And when police are there trying to do their job and you're impeding them, you're trying to impede them. I don't care if you're protesting, fine. But don't be peacefully protesting with a gun because your intention is to intimidate people. If you're not going to use it.
How can you intimidate people if you don't show it to them, if it's concealed?
That's correct, Pepe. Hey, so let me say this, Pepe. So Milwaukee. Hold on, listen, just hear me out real quick. Milwaukee, Wisconsin had one of the most not famous, I guess you could say, but whatever, with the George Floyd protests, right? It was Milwaukee, it was Minneapolis, it was who else? LA had, Chicago had a good one. So I was out there, right, with them, not protesting. They just came by my house every goddamn day. Them niggas out here had guns on them. They had white girls, motherfuckers out there smoking weed and drinking Hennessy. But when we got together, because we had like a little town hall meeting in the city, right? A couple of them. We had a conversation about what we are and what we are not going to do, right? We talking about why, because I don't know if y'all know the north side of Milwaukee, Wisconsin is very dangerous, right? We told them, what you're not going to do is you're not going to be antagonizing or being a protagonist towards the police. That is not what we here for. Y'all can drink, y'all can have y'all guns. If they legal, y'all got CCWs. In Wisconsin, we got open carry, all that shit cool. The second thing we did is, because they let us protest literally, ladies and gentlemen, from the north side all the way down to the south side by UWM and downtown by Marquette for like a fucking week and a half straight, every other day, right? As long as we wasn't fucking with the police and they wasn't fucking with, y'all know we didn't have not one person get maced, shot, stabbed, nothing. So to Pep's point, you can have a protest and y'all can play y'all music and y'all can have y'all guns out.
Just don't be fucking aggregate towards the police. It's very simple.
That's what he's doing, though. That's what he's doing. And honestly, man, like when you have a concealed carry license, they stress, man, a few things. You have a lot of responsibility, like a lot more than you realize. The one thing they definitely stress is to avoid volatile places where possible. When winning an argument is never worth legal, like having to use the gun. And so that dipshit going there with his concealed carry in that situation is going against what he was trained or when he was legally able to get his concealed carry. You understand? You are not supposed to do certain things.
You talking about Minneapolis? You mean peacefully protesting? That's what he did.
Okay, but then he goes up and fucks with the cops?
Are you talking about
Hold on. You're a carry. Yes, they are. They're federal agents. They're federal agents. Look it up. They're federal agents. They're sworn in.
They're not fucking trained.
They are federally sworn in officers.
That doesn't mean
Look
they're
it up.
trained.
Legally, it does.
They are law enforcement officers, so they can do things like
they have arresting powers.
They can give you they have arresting powers, and they can give you lawful orders. Like if they detain you and they ask for your ID, that kind of like really basic shit. You understand that, but just like the cops.
If they witness a felony, they can actually arrest you for that. If they witness a felony.
I understand that they're still federal agents, but they're not. These guys picked them up.
They're cops. They're cops.
They're not.
Alexander,
they don't have training as cops.
They don't move.
You're moving the goalposts. They're cops.
Hey, slow down. Listen, Kyle Rittenhouse was a fucking American hero. One less pedo off the street. One less dumbass on the skateboard. But to try to argue about this guy, whether he had his gun or not, that's really beside the point. He can fucking have his gun. It was dumb for him to go there. He fucked up getting involved in a shit. This is not, and for people on my side trying to act like this shit wasn't awful, it's awful. It might be lawful, but it's awful. So let's just, we're gonna have to keep it real on both sides. Fucking Kyle Rittenhouse didn't go to fucking Kenosha to start no shit. He brought an AR-15 because shit was like fucking end of the world for most people. Like, I don't know if you were in a city, but I don't know who was. I know one guy said he was from Milwaukee. He know how fucking dystopian that shit felt.
So that wasn't a protest, exactly. That's a different deal.
Yeah, it was a full ass riot. And then people trying to say, well, what the fuck, Kyle Rittenhouse being there? Look, and all the fucking rioters decided to go there to burn shit. We had one fucking American boy who had balls enough to go do something that most men wasn't gonna do. Try to mitigate. Try to fucking provide medical aid, put out fires. So, anybody trying to say he had no business to be there, he had more business to be there than anybody that was rioting. And I don't blame him for going on, as you saw, because motherfuckers was like acting like the zombies from Dawn of the Dead. And he popped the pedo, and he's an American hero for it. Let's fucking make a day that we can all get off work and observe that. We need a statue of him. And we need a fucking statue of Chauvin because he kneeled so that we can all stand. Let's recognize this shit for what it is.
Different from this guy. He's a nurse.
You know what? How about we make a statue for Christopher Donner? How about that? How about we do that?
Giving medical aid. Why did she need medical aid? She was getting arrested.
Oh, but people need medical aid all the time when they get arrested.
Dude, you don't interfere with cops. What the fuck are you talking about?
He doesn't
Dude, you are stupid. We watched the video. He was trying to stop her from getting arrested.
We watched the video, and when we saw that this motherfucker was filming, because in law you have freedom of press, right? So you have every right to film the shit. Now, was he too close because federal agents or law enforcement can do whatever the hell they want to do, which, they're federal agents at the end of the day. I mean, there is a difference, but regardless, you can say that, yeah, he was too close, but they maced the motherfucker. They took the mace cam out and bashed his fucking head in while they had him on the ground, and they grabbed his fucking weapon and aired his ass out.
And where they stay in their hotel.
If you're peacefully protesting.
Maybe if they stopped doing that, then ICE wouldn't have this fucking, animosity towards
American
these people
citizens
who
and
are
arresting
trying to kill
American
them.
citizens, maybe that would, maybe
if you're peacefully
if they would stop
protesting, what are you
arresting
doing there? Fucking
American citizens and stalking American citizens, people who have fucking IDs.
Illegal immigrants are not American citizens, you fucking
Yeah,
no
you
shit.
fucking dumbass. They're arresting American citizens, Harry.
No, they're not. Detaining and arresting are two different things. Learn what detaining and arresting are.
Y'all slow down. Y'all slow down. So this is when I hear people talking. This is not. I'm not trying to be rude to nobody, but some of y'all don't really y'all don't be around the streets and y'all don't know some of this street shit. I'm not talking about the thug ghetto shit. I'm talking about like how shit go in the streets, especially with weapons. If you disarm a motherfucker, it is not okay. That is a moral. That is a crime. It's morally fucked up for you to disarm somebody and then kill them after that. I don't give a fuck what the situation is. If you get a gun off me, you won. Okay, it's good. You don't get to kill the motherfucker after. It's supposed to work, right? Gunfights are.
He doesn't have another one.
Hey, bro, he doesn't have another one. That's irrefutable. That's irrefutable.
Well, let JP finish.
That's irrefutable. That is not nothing to be argued about. Because you got to think about if that was your son, right? So if me and Pep is homeboys or we enemies or whatever, and we both got 17, 18-year-old kids, and he tell me that my son disarmed his son, let's say his son had a knife or a gun, I don't give a fuck what it was, and my son still killed him, that's fucked up. He didn't have to do that, right? Because he don't pose a threat anymore. The only threat that he poses is a fist fight. That's it. Unless he got another concealed weapon on him.
That's assuming that he didn't have no other gun on him.
I just said that. So I just said that.
So how do you know that he didn't have another gun?
I just said that out of my mouth, Larry. I don't need your help. I was raised in this shit, and I've been in the Army my whole adult life. I don't need you to help me.
Yeah, I know.
I understand, right? So this is assuming that you don't have nothing, but disarm mean that you figured that out. So what do you do in the streets when you disarm a motherfucker or you knock him out? You feel around and make sure he don't got no other weapons. Everybody that been in the streets know that. Black, white, Mexican, whatever. You don't just knock a motherfucker out or take a motherfucking shit from them and just let it ride. You don't know if he got a motherfucking blade in his socks. You don't know what the fuck he got.
That's
right.
Hey, so you said you for the streets though, so you would know that whenever you doing some street shit, because I done did street shit. Whenever you doing some street shit, you don't see what everybody doing. So when the homeboy said he went in somebody's pockets and y'all done all got y'all on the same motherfucking cat and all that shit is going down right there, I didn't even see you go in the nigga pockets, cuz I didn't even see that because we was too busy stopping the nigga. Like, so you not gonna tell me that they knew that they all understood that dude wasn't armed no more.
That's true, but that's not what I'm talking about. If a motherfucker is on his stomach and you subdue him and you disarm him, he don't pose a threat. You are not. It's not okay for you to do unless you got a personal beef with that motherfucker. He raped your sister or something, or he beat up your goddamn 7-year-old cousin or some wild shit like that. This is not what we talking about. You're not supposed to kill that motherfucker. They shot that motherfucker 10 times. That was unnecessary.
Did he reach? After they took the gun, did he reach like he had another one?
Hold on one second. Your argument falls apart here. The one who took the gun is not the same one who said gun, and the one who shot him was neither one.
It doesn't matter.
So you're talking about a one-on-one. In other words, if you and I get into some type of conflict and I take your gun, but there's multiple people there. So the one who took the gun is not the one who shot him, and the one who said gun is not the one who shot him.
Well, let's just see. Let's do an honesty temperature check on both sides. Let's do an honesty temperature check on both sides. Now, look, everybody on my side who is slightly in favor of ICE, can we admit that this shit is pretty awful? It looks pretty awful. It might be a little fucked up. Can we at least just meet grounds there?
Yeah, I know.
He showed up with a gun.
They are incompetent. Let's make it concise, one by one. Everybody that's slightly in favor of ICE, including myself, can we admit? Well, I'm going to do my vote first. I'm going to say, yeah, it looks fucking awful.
You know what's awful is that they don't let law enforcement do their fucking job. Go to work, mind their own fucking business. Maybe if they minded their own business and just lived life, went to their jobs, took care of their fucking kids, they wouldn't get killed on the street. It's that fucking simple. It's that simple.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement with you. Let's just do a temperature check.
Listen.
And all these black people in here talking about, resisting police. Yeah, you're definitely, you would never go resist a police officer. You know you would not go to a police officer with the gun because you know what would happen. So stop acting like you guys are all fucking moral and shit here. All bunch of bullshit. All bunch of bullshit.
You pussy motherfucker.
All bunch of bullshit. You guys are all a bunch of bullshitters.
No, I'm all bunch of bullshitters. Like he's so innocent.
He had a gun on him. Like, shut up,
you know
bro.
What,
You would have got killed too. You would have got killed also.
That's your monkey ass up.
What is it, Monday? He ain't no intelligent man. He a teenager. You bypass that, y'all.
Bitch, I'm 32 years old. I own my own house. I have a mortgage. I got 2 cars. What else want you to do? You want to come after me? Come after me. I don't give a fucking shit. Y'all are a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Hypocrites.
Man, listen. All you need is tear gas for your punk ass.
Let me get a word out.
Talking all this shit, bitch. Go to the protest. See what happens. Go with the gun and see what happens.
You don't know the protest, pussy.
No, I don't, because I have a life, bitch. I don't care about what ICE does.
You got a fucking life. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah, says the guy who was on Clubhouse with me. You shut the fuck up. Go fucking shoot some gay guys. Fucking faggot.
I think the ICE, at least the division in Minnesota, I think they are.
You look like a faggot.
I think that the group in Minnesota is incompetent. Guys, they're not having these issues nowhere else. They're not having the issues in Chicago. They're not having these issues.
Exactly.
It's Minnesota. It's Minnesota's ICE that cannot get a hold of what they got going on. That's a unit thing.
That's because their elected officials tell them, go out and resist. Go out and attack law enforcement. Go.
Let me say something, bro. Damn. So we want to blame it on Minnesota's ICE, but ICE everywhere else is functioning properly. How we know it's not Minnesota's citizens? Because they're the only ones acting hostile, aggressive, and crazy, right? Like, I can admit, right, the shooting, obviously.
Bro, you sound like you're in a scary movie right now, bro.
Hold on, bro. Let me say what I'm going to say. Let me say what I'm going to say, and let me get out your way, right?
You got this howling noise in your background. You got this crazy.
Hold on. We can all admit that the video looks crazy. But once you see other angles and you see more video footage, it's more to the situation and it's more to this shit shooting that is at hand that might just get those officers off.
This weak as hell.
Like I just said, they tell the citizens, go out, resist ICE.
Hold on, Harry. This is what I'm saying, bro. They're incompetent for 2 very, very, very important reasons. One, there is no command and control on the ground out there. That's evident. You got off-duty officers mixed in with on-duty officers. I don't know what the fuck. You nigga, go get some sleep. Why the fuck is you? Bro, I've been deployed 3 times. If I'm off-duty in a combat zone, unless they blowing my immediate area, I'm not helping y'all do shit. I will see y'all at 12:30 when my shift start. The fuck wrong with y'all? So the command and control is not there. They don't have a relationship with the citizens enough to allow them to protest and allow them to do their job, right? In Chicago, they have a relationship with the citizens, the business owners, and all that shit. Are some people going to get round up that are citizens? Yeah. If anybody grew up in the streets, Larry, you know, if they think it's some dope in an apartment building, they getting in the whole apartment building for the most part. Unless they got intel and all that kind of shit. Everybody going to be detained, and then when they figure out who ain't got nothing to do with nothing, they going to let everybody go. That's how I go. But you have to have cooperation. That is on the ICE agents. They don't have the proper command and control and cooperation. It is what it is.
So why don't we put some of this on the local police though? Why are the local police?
Because the politicians there are telling the police to not do anything.
Harry, let me talk, man. Damn.
These questions have been answered already. Like, you're asking questions that have been answered. It's really obvious. It's really obvious. You just go and look and see what Jacob Fry. You see what Walter's saying. You see what Jacob Fry's saying. You see what Tim Walter's saying. I know you guys don't want to hear the truth, right? You just want to talk. You don't want to hear the truth, right? I know. It hurts.
Who is moderating? Just let me talk, man. You can talk.
You asked the question. I'm answering the question for you.
Shut the fuck up.
My God, these fucking lefty retards don't understand anything.
Please shut up.
Dude is mad effeminate, dog.
Let Lefty continue. I think Lefty, aren't you a cop or something?
Bro,
if he's a cop, he's a fucking retarded cop then.
Let me talk. Listen.
Conversation, bro. Yeah, what you doing? Let's have a conversation. What the fuck?
So what I'm saying is this: you can't put all the blame on ICE. Why isn't local government in the streets controlling some of this chaos? None of these local city governments are trying to even work with ICE. So ICE out here doing their local job and their federal job all at the same time. If local police department get in the freaking street and maintain and control and order while these people are protesting, guess what? These federal law enforcement officers can go about their business and go retrieve whoever it is they need to retrieve. But local law enforcement is saying, fuck ICE, we stand out the way. Like, come on, bro. These cities need to these cities need to take control of their city.
Right, I got you. But hold on, but Lefty, first of all, everybody's major cities police force is understaffed. Like, that's been going on for years. We know that. But this is the same mayor who was talking shit about Trump having the National Guard come in and do that job for them. Their job is to make sure the citizens don't hurt themselves and each other and allow ICE to do their job. That's what they're there for. That's their mission. Trust me, I know. Their mission is not to go be rounding up citizens. But her motherfucking ass got on national television and said, we don't want them here. So he said, fuck it. With certain cities. It wasn't just her. Just fuck it all together. Right? So now you're seeing what happened. Because in those cities, well, most of those cities, what was it, LA, Ray? Y'all help me out. It was LA. It was only like 2 or 3 cities where the governor allowed.
No, there were several cities. There were several cities. There was Chicago, Chicago, Seattle,
and they didn't have those issues, did they, Ray? They're not having those issues, are they?
The people that live in
wait, hold up. Wait, JP, real quick, so I understand.
I'm asking.
No, are you I'm just so I can answer correctly. So are you saying that the cities that you're trying to name are the ones that had issue with them coming into the states? Is that what you're asking?
I'm saying she was the one, particularly in a couple other states, that said we don't want the National Guard here at all. She wasn't asking for a particular mission. She wasn't asking none of this shit. She said we don't want these motherfuckers here at all, and her governor's first behind her. And Trump was like, well, not just Trump, but they were saying like, okay, well, fuck it then. We're not finna push it because we're not finna keep going through this rigmarole with y'all, right? The National Guard's job, one of their jobs, this is in every state in the union, right, is to protect the citizens, especially when they want to protest or when there's riots happening. They train for this shit. Trust me, I tell you. You know how I know? Because I was in the National Guard the first 5 years of my career. So that's what they do, right? So when you don't have that on there, now the cops can't do their job, right? And the ICE can't do their job because you got 3 people trying to have overlap and monitor protests. That's impossible to do. It's not hard. It's literally impossible. Way too many systems and not enough law enforcement.
Exactly, JP. You noticed one thing, I don't know if you factored it in, but it's real evident to me as I analyze it. We all analyze the differences and the nuances in different states. And number one, what was backing Gavin Newsom was the people. He aligned himself with what he knew in his state, particularly down in LA. He knew that, and Karen, the mayor, Karen Bass, they all knew you're not going to control all these masses of people. He was trying to say, look, man, he told Trump, come get me. You look here, man. So he was saving his own life by saying that. He was jumping in because the people is what's different to me. Nobody knows every little city, every little thing. But I'm saying it would be the willingness amongst the people to say, if it's up, it's up. Like, they don't give a shit about bullets. Black folks, who said that about black folks worried about guns? Last thing black folks worry about is some guns. They know shit. If it get to where they change their focal point of who is the enemy, that would be new. That would be a whole different can of worms that ain't been opened up yet. Because up to this point, black folks been killing black folks. But if they ever shifted that, They ain't got no problem with who gonna live, you or me. They definitely gonna fight for sure. And that bullets don't mean nothing at that point. They used to dying with bullets, and been to many a funeral behind some guns. And so, hey, if it's just wild, wild west, if it get to that point, shit, we just see how the shit play out. That's how that go. If you're gonna die anyway, you ain't going out just going out. So that's what people really need to really wake up and understand. Like, this is a ticking time bomb, bro. Y'all need to really understand. Like, if a nigga gonna die one time, it's okay. If it's up, it's up. Like, the death and penitentiary, that don't diffuse people today. Like, oh, you might get locked up. Nigga, people be at home when they get locked up. They going back to their relatives and shit. That ain't a deterrent. If it's just gonna be somebody living and somebody ain't, and the rules of law go out the window, some cities don't think the same way. They kind of like, okay, let's go. Fuck it.
Yeah, I seen that years ago. I seen that years ago.
So there's a whole part that ain't been woke up yet. Trust me, it ain't. So that's what Cooler Heads is trying to say. Look, man, you really don't want to just throw all the order out the window, because a lot of folks been holding on, believe it or not, doing the right shit for a long time, like in spite of some real jacked up scenarios, man. And a lot of people kind of, they know, like certain people that's been doing wrong, they know at some point they gonna get tired of being done wrong. That's why they make plans and put things in place, and they waiting for something to jump. But because they know at some point a natural human being say, "Shit, I want to live." Fuck it. And they know you only gonna tolerate so much. What the law said, well, you can't do that. Okay, well, you can't be in the store, and are you following behind people? At some point, people say they ain't stupid, you know. But they sure ain't a matter of they don't want to live and they scared and they worried about who got guns, man, bro. If it's game over, you ain't worried about nothing no more. If you only got a few seconds left to be here, you don't give a shit about nothing. Or nobody. That's what people really should be sensitive to, because it's really like a ticking time bomb all over the place. And yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
You should be on the side, if anything, you should be on the side of your fellow American, because at the end of the day, man, like it's not sitting up here promoting criminality. That's not the point. The point is that when you give government so much power to have agents, federal agents, go up in your cities and do whatever the fuck they feel like doing, and you know, through them writing through ink and paper, whatever legislation, whatever law that they want to, which can infringe on your right as a human fucking being, why the fuck would you sit up here and promote the shit that we just witnessed on Saturday? Now, to me, all this shit is a psyop to begin with. It's just that when I'm listening to people commentate on it, and sit up here and blatantly lie on what we're seeing, right, for our own eyes, it's just kind of strange to me. And it's kind of strange that it sounds like people want authoritarianism. They want a police state at the expense of their own fucking...
Projection alert, projection alert. He's putting out the disinformation claiming other people are lying, but it's actually Rayabia that's lying. Projection alert, projection alert, projection alert. Rayabia's projecting again. Take note of the projection.
Like Rayabia, see how it makes risk.
Kidnaps your bitch.
That's exactly why we need law enforcement.
Guys, let's not keep the personal
bitch. Okay, so no, just to end on this, my point is that like the same people that are for this, they're the same people that sit up here and be like, oh, we need to do the things that we need to do back in the day with the founding forefathers. The forefathers fucking laugh at y'all, man, because they're the same people that put these amendments in there for you to have, because they understood that if you allow government to have so much control, they can do whatever the fuck they feel like doing, and through legalities tell you that you're wrong for protecting yourself.
Well, I don't know. It seems crazy to me that people can come on here and just lie when our eyes are seeing what's happening, and they can just lie even though we can see what's actually happening. Our eyes aren't lying to us. And
Right now, do you even know how many amendments are in the Constitution?
So with that being said,
no.
You know, you're a monkey. Shut the fuck up, you.
This guy wants to talk about the Constitution, doesn't even know how many amendments are in the Constitution.
Shut your effeminate bitch ass up, man, while I'm talking. You fucking limp wrist bitch.
Yeah, I know. All you can do is come back with
because listen,
but you can't tell me how many amendments are in the Constitution.
Okay, that's what men do. But anyway,
how many amendments are in the Constitution?
So with that being said, like Thomas Jefferson said it best, you have to have a revolution every 19 years. Why? Because of stupid shit like this. And the funny thing is, because people are so weak and complacent, they're okay with seeing people get executed on the streets, and they advocate for it, and they advocate for police state. Go ask Nathan, who was just in the room a second ago, who was a mod. He's lost this shit.
And they didn't make these movies for nothing, did they? Y'all white people made these movies, now they really happen, When you start making bullshit, watch weird shit happen. That's the real truth. When y'all make cover-ups, y'all try to make it seem like y'all the high ranking. But do you know everybody else, they got their own position? Why y'all in other people's country trying to make laws?
It's because that's what we do, buddy. But
Yeah, there's this thing called the law, and the law is strength, and the joy of the world is strength. Obey the law or FAFO. It's that simple.
Y'all say y'all father's laws.
Yeah, come back into compliance with the law, or you could be FAFO. That's the real law. Don't FAFO yourself. Come into compliance with the law. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of speakers here like Rayabia who says it's happening right in front of you. The eyes and the lies and the eyes. But this fucking Schwartz never talks about the fucking law. This big dimpled, look at that fucking huge little nasty little thing on his face. Rayabia, try to go get a skin cleanser, go to get a facial, go to the spa.
Can we move the motherfucker that just always?
Yeah, we got it. Carry on. Go.
So this is my biggest. And JP, I think JP might be the only person that might share my sentiment in this, right? And somebody that has, and if somebody else was there, please let me know. As somebody that has been a part of the United States Armed Forces, right? I have to show more restraint to a motherfucker that just wiped out my entire squad. I'm expected to show more restraint to a motherfucker that just wiped out anybody in my squad than ICE agents are to American citizens, right? That's where I think my biggest complaint comes from, right? Because where is the restraint that they are expected to show? There should be no reason why an American citizen should be killed by an ICE agent. Where is the restraint? Where's the training? Do we even know what training an ICE agent really gets? Right? So that's what my complaint is, right? And again, JP, if you don't share my sentiment, I kind of threw you into it. You can separate yourself from it.
Well, Trey, not only, bro, do I share your sentiment, the forefathers did too. So, do y'all remember what happened? And let's get a fundamental understanding of what the founding fathers thought about this type of shit. You do remember the Boston Massacre, right?
Correct.
Y'all remember that? All right. When that happened in 1770, I believe it was. Remember, it was a nigga that got killed, or it was a nigga who face was in our history books, right? 4 or 5 other white people got killed that day. Georgie, Porgy, Puddin' Pie, and all them niggas, when they came back, they heard of it because remember they was fighting the 7 Years' War at the time. So imagine these are the motherfuckers that's going to create the new standard by which we live, that being the American Constitution, right, or the Third Constitution. They over there, they found about this Christmas addict shit going down, and when they come back after serving for Great Britain, right? They come back and they still hot about that shit. So there is an underlying current and a fundamental understanding that I don't give a fuck if you are a legitimate police officer or a red coat or a federal agent. Because remember, the red coats are basically federal agents. That's basically what they are, right? That's basically what they are, federal agents. You said what, Will?
Said blue coats, right?
The red coats. We were the blue coats. They were.
Okay, this is 200,000 U.S. soldiers to remove 3 million illegal aliens now.
home means the county sends you a property tax bill every year. That bill handing over the keys to our 10th home. There's nothing better than watching a family get. Apparently, I'm playing chess today as the piece, not the player. Signal left. Check your mirrors. If you love democracy, check the box next to my name. Voters love a good pothole story. We'll call the plan Pave the Way. Welcome to Magic Hut. Around here, everybody a couple quick updates before lunch. First, the United States is officially.
To work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. Man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, and mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. Man has the right to love as he will, take your fill and will of love as he will, when, where, and with whom he will. Man has the right to kill those who will thwart these rights. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Love under will. The law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that and no other shall say nay. Every man and every woman is a star. There is no God but man. The rights of man, Master Therian, Frida Bravo, Alistair Crowley, the Master, Alistair Crowley.
Neighbor
has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. Man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Man has the right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, and mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. Man has the right to love as he will, take your fill and will of love as you will, when, where, and with whom you will. Man has the right to kill those who would thwart these rights. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Love under the law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that and no other shall say nay. Every man and every woman is a star. There is no God but man. The rights of man, Master Therian, Freda Butter Albo, Alistair Crowley, the Master, Alistair Crowley. Man has the right to live by his own law, to live in the way that he wills to do, to work as he will, to play as he will, to rest as he will, to die when and how he will. Man has the right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Man has the right to think what he will.
Box next to my name. Multitasking, that's leadership. Sir, would you like a bumper sticker? It's biodegradable.
us as he will. Has the right to love. Take your fill and will of love as you will. When, where, and with whom you will. None has the right to kill those who would thwart these rights. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Love under will. The law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Thou hast no right but to do thy will. Do that and no other shall say nay. Every man and every woman is a star. There is no God but man. The rights of man, Master Therian, Freda Budarabo, Alistair Crowley, the Master, Alistair Crowley. Carthage, though a commercial republic, was the aggressor in the very war that ended in her destruction. Hannibal had carried her arms into the heart of Italy, to the gates of Rome before Scipio. Watched tonight on Watch. Something like gave him an overthrow. Looks like a fractured cheers when we split into two lobes and collapsed in on itself. Congress doctors turn things over. Watched tonight on Watch. Something like Venus in later times figured more riches when we split into two lobes and collapsed in on itself. Becoming an object of retaliation. Pope Julius II found means to accomplish that formidable lead, which gave a deadly blow to the power and pride of this haughty republic. The provinces of Holland, till they were overwhelmed in debts and taxes, took a leading and conspicuous part in the wars of Europe. They had furious contests with England for the dominion of the sea, and were among the most persevering and most implacable of the opponents of Louis Court.
I built this place from a single brick.
In the government of
The hidden sun, rise within this temple, by this cup.
compose one
Speaking I rise today to demand that every woman.
Commerce has been for ages the predominant pursuit of that country. Few nations, nevertheless, have been more frequently engaged in war. And the wars in which that kingdom has been engaged have, in numerous instances, proceeded from the people. There have been, if I may so express it, almost as many popular as royal wars. The cries of the nation and the importunities of their representatives, upon various occasions, drag their monarchs into war, though continued the minute, contrary to their inclinations. And sometimes contrary to the real interest of the state, in that memorable struggle for superiority between the rival houses of Austria and Mark, which so long kept Europe in a flame. It is well known that the antipathies of the English against the French, seconding the ambition, or rather the avarice, of a favorite leader, then protracted the war beyond the limits marked out by sound policy, and for considerable time in opposition to the views of the court. The wars of these two last mentioned nations have in a great measure grown out of commercial considerations, the desire of supplanting and the fear of being supplanted, either in particular branches of traffic or in the general advantages of trade and navigation. From this summary of what has taken place in other countries, whose situations have borne the nearest resemblance to our own, what reason can we have to confide in those reveries, which would seduce us into an expectation of peace, cordiality between the members of the present Confederacy in a state of separation? Have we not already seen enough of the fallacy and extravagance of those idle theories which have amused us with promises of an exemption from the imperfections, weaknesses, and evils incident to society in every shape? Is it not time to awake from the deceitful dream of a golden age and to adopt as a practical maxim for the direction of our political conduct that we, as well as the other inhabitants of the globe, are yet remote from the happy empire of perfect wisdom, perfect virtue? Let the point of extreme depression to which our national dignity and credit of some, let the inconveniences felt everywhere from a lax and ill administration of government, let the revolt of a part of the state of North Carolina, the late menacing disturbances in Pennsylvania, and the actual insurrections and rebellions in Massachusetts declared.
Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds, 10, 9, 11, 10, 9, 9. Hold, 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 let it go, 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 go. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds, 10, not 11, 10, 9, 9. Hold, 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 let it go, 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 go. Santa baby, my little Santa baby, Santa baby, my little Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds, 10, not 11, 10, 9. Hold, 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 let it go, 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 go. I need to be free of those telling me what to do in order to attain my real fulfillment. suppress my sensual impulses and urges, I may do harm to my natural development. I am a merciful person. I can read whatever I wish, watch whatever kind of TV program or movies I wish. It doesn't affect me at all if I always say no to others in regard to sex or drugs or alcohol. I will never be accepted by others. I will never have any friends. I don't need confession. I haven't any graces. And besides, if I stay away more, there will be less danger of routine confessions. My prayers don't seem to be answered. Seem to be answered. So what is the use of praying? My conscience is the only guide I need. As long as I am at peace with my conscience, I need not worry. Even if some of my decisions
Where would I want to go?
Song without end is the cleverness of the evil one.
Look how you support. Look how you.
Exploiting our weaknesses,
Look how you treat
our likes and
Republicans.
dislikes. I need to be free of those telling me what to do in order to attain my real fulfillment. If I suppress my sensual impulses and urges, I may do harm to my natural development.
So,
I am a pure person. I can read whatever I wish, watch whatever kind of TV program or movies I wish. It doesn't affect me at all if I always say no to others in regard to sex or drugs or alcohol. I will never be accepted by others. I will never have any friends. I don't need confession. I haven't any graces. And besides, if I stay away more, there will be less danger. Of routine confessions. My prayers don't seem to be answered. So what is the use of praying? My conscience is the only guide I need. As long as I am at peace with my conscience, I need not worry. Even if some of my
how would anyone want to support you? Look how you treat Republicans.
Utility of a confederacy, as well to suppress faction and to guard the internal tranquility of states, as to increase their external force and security, is in reality not a new idea. It has been practiced upon in different countries and ages. It has received the sanction of the most
Who would anyone want to support you?
on the subject of politics. The opponents
Look how
of
you
the
treat
plan
Republicans. You're a
propose
fake
that
Republican Democrat.
cited and
Former
circulated
escort
the
Clinton
observations of
Democrat
Montesquieu on the
Republicans are
necessity
still
of a
going to
contracted
time and money with this
territory
crime.
from a
Child care
Republican
punishment during the
government.
vaccine.
But they seem not to have been apprised of the sentiments of that great man expressed in another part of his work. Nor to have
He's asleep on a lawn chair because he touches a pinky toe to conservative worker there. Obviously, also take the towards and earn his leverage. If he chose so much, then I can't be trusted to believe it.
Montesquieu recommends a small extent for republics. The standards he had in view were of dimensions far short of the limits of almost every one of these states. Not Virginia, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New York, North Carolina, nor Georgia can by any means be compared with the models from which he reasoned and to which the terms of his description apply. If we therefore take his ideas on this point as the criterion of truth, we shall be driven to the alternative, either of taking refuge at once in the arms of monarchy, or splitting ourselves into an infinity of little jealous, clashing, tumultuous commonwealths, the wretched nurseries of unceasing discord, and the miserable objects of universal pity or contempt. Some of the writers who have come forward on the other side of the question seem to have been aware of the dilemma, and have even been bold enough to hint at the division of the larger states as a desirable thing. Such an infatuated policy, such a desperate expedient might, by the multiplication of petty offices, answer the views of men who possess not qualifications to extend their influence beyond the narrow circles of personal intrigue. But it could never promote the greatness or happiness of the people of America.
Nobody wants to support you. That's how you treat Republicans. You are fake Republican Democrats. You former escort Clinton Democrat simp. Republicans are starting to donate some time and money to supply John Kerry County Congressman to Darren the Hood vaccine.
Rapid succession of revolutions by which they were kept in a state of perpetual vibration between the extremes of tyranny and anarchy. If they exhibit occasional calms, these only serve as short-lived contrast to the furious storms that are to succeed. If now and then intervals of felicity open to view, we behold them with a mixture of regret arising from the reflection that the pleasing scenes before us are soon to be overwhelmed by the tempestuous waves of sedition and party rage. Momentary rays of glory break forth from the gloom while they dazzle us with a transient and fleeting brilliancy. They at the same time admonish us to lament that the vices of government should pervert the direction and tarnish the luster of those bright talents and exalted endowments for which the favored soils that produced them have been so justly celebrated. From the disorders that disfigure the annals of those republics, the advocates of despotism have drawn arguments, not only against the forms of republican government, but against the very principles of civil liberty. They have decried all free government as inconsistent with the order of society, and have indulged themselves in malicious exultation over its friends and partisans happening for mankind. Stupendous fabrics reared on the basis of liberty, which have flourished for ages, have in a few glorious instances refuted their gloomy sophisms. I trust America will be the broad and solid foundation of other edifices, not less magnificent, which will be equally permanent monuments of their errors. But it is not to be denied that the portraits they have sketched of Republican government were just copies of the originals from which they were taken. If it had been found impractical to have devised models of a more perfect structure, the enlightened friends to liberty would have been obliged to abandon the cause of its species of government as indefensible. The science of politics, however, like most other sciences, has received great improvement. The efficacy of various principles is now well understood, which were either not known at all or imperfectly known to the ancients. The regular distribution of power into distinct departments, the introduction of legislative balances and checks, the institution of courts composed of judges holding their offices during good behavior, the representation of the people in the legislature by deputies of their own election, These are wholly new discoveries, or made their principal progress towards perfection in modern times. They are
want to support you. How can you treat Republicans who are fake Republican Democrat, former escort Democrat simp, Republicans in Chicago, and don't waste your time or money with this plan.
However novel it may appear to some, to add one more on a principle which has been made the foundation of an objection to the new Constitution. I mean, the enlargement of the orbit within which such systems are to revolve, either in respect to the dimensions of a single state or the consolidation of several smaller states into one great confederacy. The latter is that which immediately concerns the object under consideration. It will, however, be used to examine the principle in its application to a single state, which shall be attended to in another place. There's 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, sway softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense, observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs enhance, hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen turned inwardness, no atom of innocence. 6 on one thought securely pinned, till every whisper of the wind, so like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolonged, the meditation deep and strong, slaying even God should he
I don't want to support you. Because you treat Republicans, you are fake Republican, Democrat, former escort pimp and Democrat simp. Republicans in Chicago, and don't waste your time or money with this plan. Don't do it. Do it. Congressman, join the Hillary scene. Holy shit.
If thou restrain the expression, show thy glance to rapture, startling, discarding name from science, transceive this
Consciously optimistic.
Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy beat
Yeah, that's my ex-wife. It's my ex-wife. It's my ex-wife. Oh, it's my ex-wife. It's my ex-wife. Why would anyone want to support you? Look how you treat Republicans. You are a fake Republican.
meditation's deep and strong. Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Blast all these things in one or power. Time let the midnight blossom flower. The one this is, yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. So like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up my being in one word. Next to that ecstasy, prolonged, thy meditation's deep and strong. Slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Blast all these things in water with power. Time at the midnight blossom flower. This is yet this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss.
The wide field of Western territory. Therefore, we perceive an ample theater for hostile pretensions, without any umpire or common judge to interpose between the contending parties. To reason from the past to the future, we shall have good ground to apprehend that the sword would sometimes be appealed to as the arbiter of their differences. The circumstances of the dispute between Connecticut and Pennsylvania, respecting the land of Wyoming, admonish us not to be sanguine in expecting an easy accommodation of such differences. The Articles of Confederation plead the parties to submit the matter to the decision of a federal court. The submission was made, and the court decided in favor of Pennsylvania. But Connecticut gave strong indications of dissatisfaction with that determination, nor did she appear to be entirely resigned to it, till, by negotiation and management, something like an equivalent was found for the loss she supposed herself to have sustained. Nothing here said is intended to convey the slightest censure on the conduct of that state. She no doubt sincerely believed herself to have been injured by the decision, and states, like individuals, acquiesce with great reluctance in determinations to their disadvantage. Those who had an opportunity of seeing the inside of the transactions which attended the progress of the controversy between this state and the District of Vermont can vouch the opposition we experienced, as well from states not interested as from those which were interested in the claim, and can attest the danger to which the peace of the Confederacy might have been exposed had this state attempted to assert its rights by force. Two motives preponderated in that opposition. One, the jealousy entertained of our future power, and the other, the interest of certain individuals of influence in the neighboring states who had obtained grants of lands under the actual government of that district, even the states which brought forward claims in contradiction to ours seemed more solicitous to dismember this state than to establish their own pretensions. These were New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, New Jersey, and Rhode Island, upon all occasions discovered a warm zeal for the independence of Vermont. And Maryland, till alarmed by the appearance of a connection between Canada and that state, entered deeply into the same views. These, being small states, saw with an unfriendly eye the perspective.
Every morning I take a seat under this old oak. I breathe
transactions, we may trace some of the causes which would be likely to embroil the states with each other, if it should be their unpropitious destiny to become disunited. The competitions of commerce would be another fruitful source of contention. The states less favorably circumstanced would be desirous of escaping from the
morning starts here. Making sure grandma gets outside the fence. Grandma likes his tea strong.
Each state or separate confederacy would pursue a system of commercial policy peculiar to itself. This would occasion distinctions, preferences, and exclusions, which would beget discontent. The habits of intercourse on the basis of equal privileges, to which we have been accustomed since the earliest, keener edge to those causes of discontent than they would naturally have independent of this circumstance. We should be ready to denominate injuries those things which were in reality the justifiable acts of independence of our aims is consulting a distinct interest, the spirit of enterprise which characterizes the commercial part of America has left no occasion of displaying itself unimproved. It is not at all probable that this unbridled spirit would pay much respect to those regulations of trade by which particular states might endeavor to secure exclusive benefits to their own citizens. The infractions of these regulations on one side, the efforts to prevent and repel them on the other, would naturally lead to outrages, and these to reprisals and wars.
To the people of the state of New York, it is not a new observation that the people of any country, if like the Americans, intelligent and well-informed, and steadily persevere for many years in an erroneous opinion respecting their interest, the consideration naturally tends to create great respect for the high opinion which the people of America have so long and uniformly entertained of the importance of their continuing firmly united under one federal government, vested with sufficient powers for all general and national purposes. The more attentively I consider and investigate the reasons which appear to have given birth to this opinion, the more I become convinced that they are cogent and conclusive. Among the many objects to which a wise and free people find it necessary to direct their attention, that of providing for their safety seems to be the first. The safety of the people doubtless has relation to a great variety of circumstances and considerations, and consequently affords great latitude to those who wish to define it precisely and comprehensively. At present, I mean only to consider it as it respects security for the preservation of peace and tranquility, as well as against dangers from foreign arms and influence, as from dangers of the like kind arising from domestic causes. As the former of these comes first in order, it is proper, it should be the first discussed. Let us therefore proceed to examine whether the people are not right in their opinion that a cordial union under an efficient national government affords them the best security that can be devised against hostilities from abroad. The number of wars which have happened or will happen in the world will always be found to be in proportion to the number and weight of the causes, whether real or pretended, which provoke or invite them. If this remark be just, it becomes useful to inquire whether so many just causes of war are likely to be given by United America as by discerning America. For if it should turn out that United America will probably give the fewest, then it will follow that in this respect the Union tends most to preserve the people in a state of peace.
Why would anyone want to support you? Look how you treat Republicans. You are a fake Republican Democrat, a former escort, pimp, and Democrat simp. Republicans, don't waste your time and money with this clown.
Dreams give information about the secrets of the inner life and reveal to the dreamer hidden factors of his personality.
My friends, it is wise to nourish the
Morning,
soul.
turning this pile. Rich soul.
Otherwise, you will breed dragons and devils in your heart.
Hidden in our problems is a bit of still undeveloped personality, a precious fragment of the psyche. Without this, we face resignation, bitterness, and everything else that is hostile to life.
We should grow like a tree that likewise does not know its law. We tie ourselves up with intentions, not mindful of the fact that intention is the limitation, yes, the exclusion of life.
You do not have an inferior function. It has you.
For underlying all philosophies and all religions are the facts of the human soul, which may ultimately be the arbiters of truth and error.
Our biggest problems cannot be resolved. They must be outgrown.
The fool
Paul says I'm at 5%.
To the savior.
In spite of our proud domination of nature, we are still her victims, for we have not even learned to control our nature.
Good advice is often a doubtful remedy, but generally not dangerous because it has so little effect.
Archetypal images decide the fate of man.
The underlying primary psychic reality is so inconceivably complex that it can be grasped only at the farthest reach of intuition, and then but very dimly. That is why it needs symbols.
Nobody is immune to a nationwide evil unless he is unshakably convinced of the danger of his own character being tainted by the same evil.
Life calls not for perfection, but for completeness.
To the scientific mind, such phenomena are symbolic ideas are most irritating because they cannot be formulated in a way that satisfies our intellect and logic.
What you call knowledge is an attempt to impose something comprehensible on life.
It is precisely the most subjective ideas which, being closest to nature and to the living being, deserve to be called the truest.
Just as we tend to assume that the world is as we see it, we naively suppose that the people are as we imagine them to be.
Only the complete person knows how unbearable man is to himself.
Because when once an efficient national government is established, the best men in the country will not only consent to serve, but also will generally be appointed to manage it. For although town or country or other contracted influence may place men in state assemblies or senates or courts of justice, or executive departments, yet more general and extensive reputation for talents and other qualifications will be necessary to recommend men. to offices under the national government, especially as it will have the widest field for choice, never experience the want of proper persons, which is not uncommon in some of the states hence. It will result that the administration, the political councils, and the judicial decisions of the national government will be more wise, systematical, and judicious than those of individual states, and consequently more satisfactory with respect to other nations, as well as more safe with respect to us. Because under the national government, treaties and articles of treaties, as well as the laws of nations, will always be expounded in one sense and executed in the same manner. Whereas adjudications on the same points and questions in 13 states or in 3 or 4 confederacies will not always accord or be consistent, and that as well from the variety of independent courts and judges appointed by different and independent governments, as from the different local laws and interests which may affect and influence them. The wisdom of the convention in committing such questions to the jurisdiction judgment of courts appointed by and responsible only to one national government cannot be too much commended, because the prospect of present loss or advantage may often tempt the governing party in 1 or 2 states to swerve from good faith and justice, but those temptations not reaching the other states, and consequently having little or no influence on the national government. The temptation will be fruitless, and good faith and justice be preserved. The case of the treaty of peace with written man's great weight. To this reasoning, because even if the governing party in a state should be disposed to resist such temptations, yet as such temptations may and commonly do result from circumstances peculiar to the state, and may affect a great number of the inhabitants, the governing party may not always be able, if willing, to prevent the injustice meditated or to punish.
Members of Congress, thank you for letting a guy in a striped t-shirt borrow your microphone.
The national government not being affected by those local circumstances will neither be induced to commit the wrong themselves. Nor want power or intimidation, perfect influence or punish its commission by others.
utility of a confederacy, as well to suppress faction and to guard the internal tranquility of states, as to increase their external force and security, is in reality not a new idea. It has been practiced upon in different countries and ages, and has received the sanction of the most approved writers on the subject of politics. The opponents of the plan proposed have, with great assiduity, cited and circulated observations of Montesquieu on the necessity of contracted territory for a republican government. Seem not to have been apprised of the sentiments of that great man expressed in another part of his work, nor to have adverted to the consequences of the principle to which they subscribe. The picture came out great. When Montesquieu recommends a small extent for republics,
I was just using it for that yesterday.
Were of dimensions far short of the limits of almost every one of these states.
This baby don't want to go to sleep.
It's Pennsylvania,
Whoever
New
told
York,
me
North Carolina,
that
North
babies
Georgia,
sleep 20 hours a day was just fucking lying to me, bro. They do not sleep 20 hours a
into
day.
which the terms of his description apply. If we therefore take his
My
ideas on
baby
this
is up
point
like 20
as the
hours a day. He
criterion of
sleeps like
truth,
5 hours a day.
we shall be
That's it.
driven to the alternate either of
He's on
taking
crack or
refuge
something.
at once in the
They're
arms
putting
of
crack in
monarchy,
the formula.
or of splitting ourselves into an infinity
You
of
give
little
me a
jealous,
powder
clashing,
formula?
tumultuous commonwealths, the wretched nurseries of unceasing
Yeah.
discord, and the miserable objects of universal pity or contempt.
Yeah, I already changed it twice, Collie,
On the
because
other side of
it
the
was giving him
question,
gas
seem
pains
to
and
have
he
been
kept
aware
crying.
of the dilemma.
And I was like, oh, there must be like some hidden ingredient in
Division
here
of the
that's
larger states as a
giving
desirable
him
thing. Such an infatuated
gas
policy,
pain, right?
such a
So
desperate expedient
I just went to Whole Foods the other day and picked up a whole
offices,
foods
answer the
version
views of men who possess
of this
not
stuff, and
qualifications
it's been
to
really
extend
helping
their
him.
influence
He
beyond
hasn't
the
been
narrow
crying as
circle
much.
of personal intrigue.
We ain't do powder formula at all. You know, I got two
or
new ones in my house right now.
of the people.
You breastfeeding?
No, with my grandsons, what we did was we went and we found a concentrated formula for them because my daughter, she don't produce enough milk, so that kept them fed. Like me, but powder, I don't trust that powder formula for the life of me. Like,
Federalist No.
I
7,
made it real clear, like,
the same subject
we're
continued
gonna find that
concerning
concentrated.
dangers from dissensions between the states. For the Independent Journal, Alexander Hamilton. To the people of the state.
I thought we had a pizza party surrounded by clowns running from pizza party. I just grabbed a slice of other apple.
Yeah, invite only. You gotta head out.
That's the rules, sir. Let's move.
So what makes you want to run Illinois? I thought we had
It would be a full answer to this question to say.
a pizza party surrounded by clowns running for governor. Only if they're expertise in what's right here. Wearing the pride. Thanks. It's true. So what makes you want to run Illinois? I thought we had a pizza party surrounded by clowns running for governor.
There are causes of differences within our immediate contemplation, of the tendency of which, even
Buddy, this is a governor's only pizza party. I just grabbed a slice. Is that a problem?
Yeah, invite only. You gotta head out.
Come on, it's just pizza. Rules are rules, sir. Let's move. Fine. Have a nice night. Buddy, this is a governor's only.
territorial disputes have at all times been found one of the most fertile sources of hostility among nations. Perhaps the greatest proportion of wars that have desolated the earth have sprung from this origin. This cause would exist among us in full force. We have a vast tract of unsettled territory within the boundaries of the United States. Which there are disputed and undecided claims between several of them. And the dissolution of the Union would lay a foundation for similar claims. It is well known that they have heretofore had serious and animated discussion concerning the rights to the lands which were ungranted at the time of the Revolution, and which usually went under the name of Crown lands. The states within the limits of whose colonial governments they were comprised have claimed them as their property. The others have contended that the rights of the Crown in this article devolved upon the Union, especially as to all that part of the Western Territory which, either by actual possession or through the submission of the Indian proprietors, was subjected to the jurisdiction of the King of Great Britain, still it was relinquished in the Treaty of Peace. This, it has been said, was at all events an acquisition to the Confederacy by compact with a foreign power. It has been the prudent policy of Congress to appease this controversy by prevailing upon the states to make cessions to the United States for the benefit of the whole.
This has been so far accomplished as under a continuation of the Union to afford a decided prospect of an amicable termination of the dispute. A dismemberment of the Confederacy, however, would revive this dispute and would create others on the same subject. At present, a large part of the vacant Western Territory is, by cession at least, if not by any anterior right, the common property of the Union. If that were at an end, the states which made the cession on a principle of federal compromise would be apt when the motive of the grant had ceased to reclaim the lands as a reversion. The other states would no doubt insist on a proportion, by right of representation. Their argument would be that a grant once made could not be revoked, and that the justice of participating in territory acquired or secured by the joint efforts of the Confederacy remained undiminished. Contrary to proposition, should be admitted by all the states that each had a right to a share of this common stock. There would still be a difficulty to be surmounted as to a proper rule of apportionment. Different principles would be set up by different states for this purpose. And as they would affect the opposite interests of the parties, they might not easily be susceptible of a pacific adjustment. Eternity. Therefore, put into the matter of mortality and everlastingness. For the generation of that depends upon.
Every morning starts here. Grandma gets outside the house. Grandma likes his tea strong, 2 sugars. The race is served. Grandma gets a magic cup. Around here, every latte comes with a little bit of wonder. Watch me. Give it a second, and the color will tell you good morning. Wow. And yeah, doubles as campaign headquarters. I'm Jonathan. Single left. Check your mirrors. If you love democracy, check the box next to my name. Multitasking, that's leadership. Sir, would you like a bumper sticker? It's biodegradable. Just today, as a piece, not a player. They may be the king. One square at a time, folks. 3 days. One man in a shiny barrel of crown. I can't scratch my nose in here. Whoa, handing over the keys to our tent. There's nothing better than watching a family get a fresh start. Thank you so much, Doc. You earned it. Penthouse is giving them just getting started. Send you a property tax bill every year. Double pays for schools, roads, and all the services we use without thinking about it. This payment is just no way. Unpaid tax bills are really attached to the home.
All this universal body, in which are all bodies, is full of soul, mind, the mind full of God.
The 38 flows in, he fills them.
Hold on there, pal.
Quickening the universe.
Without he quickens this perfect living thing, the world, and within all living creatures. And above in heaven he abides in identity or selfness, but below upon earth he changeth generation.
For eternity comprehendeth the world, either by necessity, or providence, or nature.
And if any man shall think any other thing, it is God that actuateth or operateth this all.
But the operation or act of God is power insuperable, to which none may compare anything.
Either humane or divine.
Whoa, hold on there, pal. This is a little short pizza box. Pizza party, right? I'll just grab a slice. You're not a worse, sir.
Yes, so like these things below.
Only pizza party. I just grabbed a slice. Is that a problem?
Yeah, invite only. You gotta head out.
Come on, it's just pizza. Rules are rules, sir. Let's go. Come on.
45 nothing can be like the
Party's
other.
surrounded by clowns running for governor. Taking votes and slices. Only if they're extra cheap. Look for me right here. Where is right? Thanks. Sure. So what makes you want to tell me?
And himself.
John Kitover gets kicked out of Moretti's.
For God is not idle, for then all things would be idle.
The more you think, the more you speak the fullest of the truth you will be, Dave.
But there's not anywhere in the world such a thing as idleness. For idleness is a name that implyeth a thing void or empty, both of a door and a thing done.
But all things must necessarily be made or done both always, and according to the nature of every place.
For he that maketh or doth is in all things, yet not fastened or comprehended in anything. nor making or doing one thing.
But all things, for being an active or operating power, and sufficient of himself for the things that are made, and the things that are made are under him.
Look upon, through me, the world is subject to thy sight, and understand exactly the beauty thereof.
A body perpetual, than the which there is nothing more ancient, yet always vigorous and young.
See also the 7 worlds set over us, adorned with an everlasting order, and fill an eternity with a different course.
For all things are full of light,
but the fire is nowhere.
As for the friendship and commixture of contraries and unlike, become lights shining from the act or operation of God, the Father of all good, the Prince of all order, and the ruler of the 7 worlds.
57. Look also upon the moon, the forerunner of them all, the instrument of nature, and which changed the matter here below.
50. Behold the earth, the middle of the whole, the firm and stable, foundation of the fair world, the feeder and nurse of earthly things.
Consider, moreover, how great the multitude is of immortal living things, and of mortal ones also, and see the moon going about in the midst of both, to wit, of things immortal and mortal.
61. And that all these things are made, O beloved Hermes, thou needst not learn of me.
For they are bodies, and have a soul, and are moved.
And that all these should come together into one. It is impossible without something to gather them together.
Therefore there must be some such ones, and he altogether one.
For seeing that the motions are diverse and many, and the bodies not alike, and yet one ordered swiftness among them all.
It is impossible there should be 2 or more makers.
For one order is not kept by many.
67. But in the weaker there will be jealousy of the stronger, and thence also contentions.
And if there were one maker of mutable mortal living whites, he would desire also to make immortal ones, as he that were the maker of immortal ones would do to make mortal.
69. Moreover, also, if there were 2, the matter of being one, who should be chief, or have the disposing of the future.
Or if both of them, which of them the greater part?
Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master code, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds. 10, not 11, 10, not 9. Hold, 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 hold. Oh, let it go, 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 go. Oh, Santa baby, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Strike the master code, draw the flaming sword. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Merry Christmas. Take the deepest breath of the day and hold for 10 seconds. 10, not 11, 10, not 9. Hold, 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 hold. Oh, let it go, 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 go. Oh, Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. Santa baby, oh my little Santa baby. are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou makest to bold babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoop. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a well to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs in hands. Hour after hour, thy vigilance intense and keen turned inward. No atom of analysis, 6 on one thought securely pinned. Still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy prolonged, thy meditations deep and strong. Slating even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen path. Last all these things in one power, time that the midnight blossom flower. The oneness is yet, even in this, my son, thou shalt not do again. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere thy radiance that rose afar, O brother of the silver star. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 in one and one. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will. Corpse rigid, thus thou mayest abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's Pacific swoop.
Hello, and happy. Oh my goodness, it is Monday. It is Monday.
Swayed softly as a well to leave me bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free. Hour after hour, thy vigilance intense and keen turned inward. Miss no atom of analysis, 6 on one thought securely. Still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next till that ecstasy grow thy attention from the chosen man. Last all these things in one or power, time that the
Shit, really seeing the his best friend.
Every morning starts here. Your grandma gets outside to feel the sun. Grandpa lets his tea strong. Grandpa lets his
Today, let us resolve to accept the huge amount of graces that God is raining down on us. We have His biblical promise in Romans 5:20 that with sin increase, grace abounded all the more. There is no doubt that sin is increasing today everywhere we look, so we know that there is an abundance of grace raining down from heaven on each and every one of us as well. But our sins and our pride and this umbrella to keep the grace away from our soul. So let's pray for the grace to accept the grace. Today, let us resolve. Today, let us resolve.
The fat pig.
Today, let us resolve to accept the huge amount of grace that God is raining down on us. We have this biblical promise in Romans 5:20 that with sin increase, grace abounded all the more. There is no doubt that sin is increasing today everywhere we look, so we know that there is an abundance of grace raining down from heaven on each and every one of us as well. But our sins and our pride and this umbrella to keep the graces away from our soul. So let's pray for the grace, for the grace, to accept the graces. Today, let us resolve. Today, let us resolve to accept the huge amount of grace that God is raining down on us. We have His biblical promise in Romans 5:20 that with sin increase, grace abounded all the more. There is no doubt that sin is increasing today everywhere we look, so we know that there is an abundance of grace raining down from heaven on each and every one of us as well.
Okay. You could ever get skipped out of Moretti's.
To live in the way that He wills to do, to work as He will, to play as He will, to rest as He will, to die when and how He will.
To Speaker Collins
Man
for 20
has
years.
a right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Man has a right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. Man has a right to love as he will. Take your fill and will of love as you will, when, where, and with whom ye will. Man has a right to kill those who would walk these rights. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Love under will. The law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Thou hast no right but to do thy will, do that, and no other shall say nay. Every man and every woman is a star, there is no God but man. The rights of man, Master Therion, Freda Perderabo, Alistair Crowley, the Master, Alistair Crowley.
Speaker Jensen.
Man has a right how he will.
Coordinated release.
Man has a right to eat what he will, to drink what he will, to dwell where he will, to move as he will on the face of the earth. Man has a right to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. Man has a right to love as he will, take your fill and will of love as he will, when, where, and with whom he will. Man has a right to kill those who would want the slave ships. Love is the law. Love is the will. The law of the strong. This is our Lord, and the joy of the world. What thou wilt shall be the whole of the parties heading out to the but to do thy will, and no other shall see. Every man and every woman is a star. There is no God but the rights of men must appear. Alistair Crowley, the master, Alistair Crowley. Man has a right to live by his
John Kitover. Let's go now to Sky 7 over today. The northbound lanes just past Grand Street, that dark blue sedan is... We are following breaking news of a high-speed pursuit on Interstate 740. Drivers dispatch. John Kitover. Let's go now to Sky 7 over today. The northbound lanes just past Grand Street, that dark blue sedan is... We are following breaking news of a high-speed pursuit on Interstate 740. Drivers dispatch. John Kitover. Let's go now to Sky 7 over today. The northbound lanes just past Grand Street, that dark blue sedan is... We are following breaking news of a high-speed pursuit on Interstate 87 drivers dispatch. John Kitover.
to think what he will, to speak what he will, to write what he will, to draw, paint, carve, etch, mold, build as he will, to dress as he will. Man has the right to love as he will, take your fill and will of love as he will, when, where, and with whom he will. Man has the right to kill those who would board these graves. The slave shall serve. Love is the law. Love and the will. The law of the strong. This is our law and the joy of the world. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Thou hast no right but to do thy will, do that, and no other shall say nay. Every man and every woman is a star. There is no God but men. The rights of men must at their end. Frida Poderabo, Alistair Crowley, Alistair Crowley, the master, Alistair Crowley.
This picture is not too highly wrought, though I confess it would remain at just one safety. From external danger is the most powerful director of national conduct. Even the ardent love of liberty will, after a time, give way to its dictates. The violent destruction of life and property incident to war. Continual effort and alarm attendant on a state of continual danger will compel nations the most attached to liberty to resort for and security to institutions which have a tendency to destroy their civil and political rights. To be more safe, they at length become willing to run the risk of being less free. The institution constitutions chiefly alluded to are standing armies and the correspondent appendages of military establishments. Standing armies, it is said, are not provided against in the new constitution, and it is therefore inferred that they may exist under it. Their existence, however, from the very terms of the proposition is most problematical and uncertain. But standing armies, it may be replied, must inevitably result from a dissolution of the Confederacy. Frequent war and constant apprehension, which require a state of its constant preparation, will infallibly produce them. The weaker states or confederacies would first have recourse to them to put themselves upon an equality with their more potent neighbors. They would endeavor to supply the inferiority of population and resources by a more regular and effective system of defense, by disciplined troops and by fortifications. They would, at the same time, be necessitated to strengthen the executive arm of government, doing which their constitutions would acquire a progressive direction toward monarchy. It is of the nature of war to increase the executive at the expense of the legislative authority. The expedients which have been mentioned would soon give the states or confederacies that made use of them a superiority over their neighbors. Small states or states of less natural strength under vigorous governments and with the assistance of disciplined armies have often triumphed over large states or states of greater natural strength which have been destitute of these advantages. Neither the pride nor the safety of the more important states or confederacies would permit them long to submit to this mortifying and adventitious superiority. They would quickly resort to means similar to those by which it had been effected to reinstate themselves in their lost preeminence. Thus we should in a little time see established in every part of this country the same engines of despotism which have been the scourge of the old world. This, at least, would be the natural course of things, and our reasonings will be the more likely to be just in proportion as they are accommodated to this standard. These are not vague inferences drawn from supposed or speculative defects in a constitution, the whole power of which is lodged in the hands of a people or their representatives and delegates, but they are solid conclusions drawn from the natural and necessary progress of human affairs. This picture is not too highly wrought, though I confess it would not long remain. Just one safety from external danger is the most power erector of national conduct. Even the art and love of liberty will after a time give way to its dictates. The violent destruction of life and property incident to war, the continual effort and alarm attendant on a state of continual danger will compel nations the most attached to liberty to resort for repose and security to institutions which have a tendency to destroy their civil and political rights. To be more safe, they at length become willing to run the risk of being less free. The institutions chiefly alluded to are standing armies and the correspondent appendages of military establishments. Standing armies, it is said, are not provided against in the new Constitution,
and it is therefore inferred that they may exist under it. Their existence, however, from the very terms of the proposition, is at most problematical and uncertain. But standing armies, it may be replied, must inevitably result from a dissolution of the Confederacy. Frequent war and constant apprehension, which require a state of this constant preparation, will infallibly produce them. The weaker states or confederacies would first have recourse to them to put themselves upon an equality with their more potent neighbors. They would endeavor to supply the inferiority of population and resources by a more regular and effective system of defense, by disciplined troops, and by fortifications. They would at the same time be necessitated to strengthen the executive arm of government, in doing which their constitutions would acquire a progressive direction toward monarchy. It is of the nature of war to increase the executive at the expense of the legislative authority. The expedients which have been mentioned would soon give the states or confederacies that made use of them a superiority over their neighbor small states or states of less natural strength. Under vigorous governments and with the assistance of disciplined armies, have often triumphed over large states or states of greater natural strength which have been destitute of these advantages. Neither the pride nor the safety of the more important states or confederacies would permit them long to submit to this mortifying and adventitious superiority. They would quickly resort to means similar to those by which it had been effected to reinstate themselves in their lost preeminence. Thus we should in a little time see established in every part of this country the same engines of despotism which have been the scourge of the old world. This at least would be the natural course of things, and our reasonings will be the more likely to be just in proportion as they are accommodated to this standard. These are not vague inferences drawn from supposed or speculative defects in a constitution, the whole power which is lodged in the hands of a people or their representatives and delegates. But they are solid conclusions drawn from the natural and necessary progress of human affairs.
The matter of the state versus the two clowns, this court has reviewed the evidence. Recent fingerprint. Reviewing all the evidence, I hereby find this is perfect. Best lunch I've ever.
This country has permanent, free access to safe, legal abortions. Not for a year, not for a decade, forever. The hidden sun lies within this temple. By this cup, spirit and matter are joined. I built this place from a single griddle and a dream. Every patty we flip, every neighbor we. Speaker, I rise today to demand.
Poll says I'm at 5%. Good news, that's up from 4%. Bad news, I'm still 5%. We need a message, John. I have a message.
Buddy, this is the donors only pizza. make this kind of campaign stop.
The best way to reach the people is with extra cheese.
Can't argue with that.
Hey, you took my last slice.
He was just sitting there.
Take this back.
It was so thick it needs its own zip code. That's just the summary, Congressman. Figures. Coffee, please.
And maybe a forklift for the.
Breaking news tonight. John Kitover has won the United States congressional race for Illinois 16th District.
Gentlemen and good ladies, we meet here in Boston not to grumble, but to declare what is rightfully ours. Every man is born with natural rights granted by God. Madam Speaker, members of Congress, we argue about policy for hours every day, but there is a simpler habit that shapes citizens more than any bill we pass. Everybody, I'm John Kitover coming to you live from 2026, where our phones are smart, but our chargers vanish like socks in the dryer. Reviewing all the evidence, I hereby find both of you guilty. Guilty of what? We're just eating. Guilty of devouring pizza and chugging unauthorized glowing juice in this court. Sentence delivered. Guess we'll take the punishment. Works reviewing all the evidence. Welcome aboard, Slice Bar. Bus headquarters, kitchen, and campaign machine all in one. Smells like victory. And pepperoni.
And a little garlic butter if we're honest.
The polls say we're rising faster than a big. Welcome aboard, Slice Bar.
Hey, folks, I see the Democrats brought charts and I brought common sense.
Oh,
Here we go. Also, this is the national debt. Printed it out. Hope you have a forklift for the appendix. This offering is blank. Hey, folks, I see.
On a beef dish with a bunch of political clowns on a moving bus in Chicago, but here we are. To pizza and peace. Cheers to that. We left the filibuster at home. We brought the mozzarella on a beef. Speaker, I came here to fix Congress, but I can't even fix the coffee machine.
Maybe you should file a bill for that.
Already drafted 23 co-sponsors and a clause for extra green.
That's one way to get bipartisan support.
The only thing ever, Speaker, I came. Burn hands today, Your Majesty. We should challenge the King of England for liberty. Unhand me. Tell Parliament the colonies will be free. 2.5 centuries later, our fight for representation continued against. The Kitover's wands. Every one of these is hand-turned from local wood and matched to the wizard who's going to wield it. Craftsmanship matters, and so does the person up behind it. It's the same. This has been my life for more than 2 decades. Circle and flame by water. This is perfect. Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
This toast is perfect.
Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
Order in the court. After reviewing it.
Perfect cross.
Evening, sir.
Hey, what's up?
Afraid this party's for registered party animals only. And you're not on the list, Bolster Man. Time to scoot.
Just eating a slice. Really? Perfect cross.
Evening. today, you'll have. I came. All the evidence. John. Welcome aboard, Boss Headquarters, Kitchen, and Campaign.
deep dish with a bunch of political clowns on a moving bus in Chicago.
Don't learn party bus. You're a traitor to the Constitution. Second, let's stand with us and download Priority Bus.
Gentlemen and good ladies, we meet here in Boston not to. Madam Speaker, so thick it needs its own. This kind of campaigns. This has been my life for more than 2 decades. On every stage, every rehearsal, I learned.
As much as you can. Take it even deeper breaths and push out the ones from the back. Most of the time, just.
This has been my life for more than 2 decades. It was so thick it needs its own zip code. That's just the summary, Congressman. Figures. Coffee, please. And maybe a forklift for the rest of the Gentlemen. Madam Speaker, members of buddy, I'm John Kitover coming to you live in 2026 where our phones are smart but our chargers vanish like socks in the dryer. Buddy, viewing all the evidence, I hereby find both of you guilty. Guilty of what? We're just guilty of devouring pizza and chugging unauthorized glowing juice in this court. Sentence delivered. Welcome aboard, Slash Bar. Bus headquarters, kitchen, and campaign machine all in one. It smells like victory. And pepperoni.
And a little garlic butter if we're honest.
The polls say we're rising faster than a... Hey, folks, I see the Democrats brought charts and I brought common sense. Oh, here we go. Also, this is the national debt. Printed it out. Hope you have a forklift for the appendix. This offering is what? Deep dish with a bunch of political clowns on a moving bus in Chicago, but here we are. To pizza and peace. Cheers to that. We left the filibuster at home. We dropped out mozzarella. Speaker, I came here to fix Congress, but I can't even fix the coffee machine.
Maybe you should file a bill for that.
Already drafted. Today, Your Majesty. You should challenge the King of England for liberty. Unhand me. Tell Parliament the colonies will be Kitover's wands. Every one of these is hand. This has been my life for more than 2 decades. This is perfect. Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
This crust is perfect.
Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom. Perfect crust. Evening, sir. Hey, what's up? Afraid this party's for registered party animals only, and you're not on the list, pollster man. Time to scoot. I'm just eating a slice. Really? This is incredible slice. Whoa, hold on there, pal. This is a closed-door pizza caucus. It's a pizza party, right? Every morning starts here, making sure Grandma gets outside to feel the sun. The national debt is now topping $34 trillion. Talk about the 4 horsemen of my wallet: debt, borrowing, spending, and taxing. They gallop in, take my sandwich, and gallop out. Borrowing is like asking future me for a loan. He always says yes because he knows justice roll down like waters. Talking about justice, we're really talking about. Oh, voter, I am John Kitover's artificial intelligence.
starts here.
Pepperoni's the best. Can't beat courthouse pizza.
After reviewing all evidence, this court finds the defendants guilty of unauthorized pizza consumption.
Aw, come on. This is one slice each.
Perfect cross evening.
Grab a slice and sit down, folks. Best day in lockup, boss. Keep the cheese off the floor, all right?
Perfect cross evening, sir. Hey, what's up?
Afraid this party's for registered party animals only.
Domer pizza. Pizza court. Aaron Delmar, Pizza Bailey.
Perfect cross. Evening, sir. Hey, what's up? Afraid this party's for registered party animals only. And you're not on the list, Bolster man. Time to scoot.
Don't you see the slice? Really?
Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
Oh, this crust is perfect. Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
Order in the court. After reviewing the evidence, this court finds it.
This was a bunch of political clowns on a moving bus in Chicago, but here we are. To pizza and peace. Cheers to that. We left the filibuster at home. We brought the mozzarella.
Or the slice bar.
Bus headquarters, kitchen, and campaign machine all in one. It smells like victory. And pepperoni.
And a little garlic butter and fries.
Wholesale pricing faster than a
Reviewing all the evidence, I hereby find both of you guilty. Guilty of what? We're just eating. Guilty of devouring pizza and chugging unauthorized glowing juice in this court. Sentence delivered. Then, guess we'll take punishment. Works.
Party surrounded by clowns running for governor.
Taking votes and slices.
Only if they're extra cheesy.
But for me,
Right here. Wear 'em with pride.
thanks. It's a shirt.
So what makes you want to run Illinois?
First only pizza party. I just grabbed a slice. Is that a problem?
Yeah, invite only. You gotta head out.
Come on, it's just pizza. Rules are rules, sir. Let's move. Still grabbing a slice.
Whoa, hold on there, pal. This is a closed door pizza caucus.
It's a pizza party, right? I was just grabbing a slice.
Pizza Court. Who is this? It's Kitover. Democrats versus John Kitover. Enjoy the triple trolling.
Speaker, I rise today to demand that every woman in this country has permanent.
Oh my God. Aaron Delmar, Pizza Bailey.
Perfect cross. Evening, sir. Hey, what's up? Afraid this party's for registered party animals only. And you're not on the list, Bolster man. Time to scoot.
Don't you see the slice? Really?
Best lunch I've ever had. Best lunch I've ever. Perfect.
My life for more than 2 decades.
Congressman.
Adults only. And you're not on the list, poster man. Time to scoot.
Just eat the slice. Really? Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
This crust is perfect. Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
Order in the court. After reviewing the evidence, this court finds it.
Deep dish with a bunch of political clowns on a moving bus in Chicago, but here we are. To pizza and peace. Cheers to that. We left the filibuster at home.
Aaron Del Mar Pizza, the Darren the Hood vaccine. Hello? Thank you for proving my point. Hello? Hello?
Oh, means the county sends you a property tax bill every year. That bill pays for school. Signal left, check your mirrors, and if you love democracy, check the box next to mine. They're playing chess today as the piece, not the player. They may be the king. One square to Voters love a good pothole story. We'll call the plan Pave the Way. Trust me, it pulls great. Yeah. The way. Trust me, it pulls great. Yeah, I'll send a memo. Talk soon. And yeah, player. Maybe beers, property tax. Strong, 2 sugars. They raised me to serve, to look out. Every morning starts here.
The forces of hate and division cannot solve the problems we face today. They cannot solve the issue of poverty or hunger in Chicago any more than they can solve them in Appalachia. Keane put it quite clearly.
Egos are a concept just like your intelligence. Shit for brains. The Darren Bailey party bus.
Evening, sir. Hey, what's up? Afraid this party's for registered party animals only. And you're not on the list, poster man. Time to scoot.
I'm just eating a slice. Really?
Evening, sir. Hey.
Kitover's wands. Every one of these is hand turned from local wood and matched to the Kitover.
registered party animals only. And you're not on the list, poster man. Time to scoot.
Just eating a slice. Really? Best lunch I've ever had in a courtroom.
Fuck.
I came here.
President, I've learned that leadership
Speaker, I came here to fix Congress, but I can't even.
Folks, I see the Democrats. Folks, I see the Democrats brought charts and I brought common sense. Here we go. Also, this is the national debt. Printed it out. Hope you have a forklift for the.
Grab a slice and sit down, folks. Keep the cheese off the floor, all right?
President, I've learned that leadership starts with
Hey, lunchtime at the political wing.
Vote for more pepperoni.
Buddy, this is a donors-only pizza party. I just grabbed a slice.
Poll says I'm at 5%.
Every morning I take a seat under the solar.
Speaker, I rise today to demand that every of the hidden sun rise within this temple. By this cup, spirit and matter are joined. Light of the aeon, give us knowledge and joy. Let the word be spoken and the heart be opened. Bless this of the hidden sun rise within this temple. By this cup, spirit and matter are joined. Light of the aeon, give us knowledge and joy. Let the word be spoken and the heart be opened. Bless this of the hidden sun rise with.
I built this place from a single griddle and a dream. Every patty we flip. This place from a single griddle and a
Pizza
dream.
night. Keep it simple. No juggling slices, no throwing.
Every neighbor we feed.
Like a disco
Reminds me why I
ball.
love this community. I don't have a law degree, but I do have a lot of opinions.
Mr. Kiddo.
The last 8 years, I've worked in Congress.
Looking for something on the relaxing side? This Blue Mesa batch test it.
Team ready? Step touch. Here we go.
Balancing the training floor with the campaign trail isn't easy, but it's who I am. I'm a coach, a veteran, and now I'm ready to serve. I'm in the gym every morning.
All right, everyone. Take a deep breath in. Reach your arms overhead. training floor with the campaign trail isn't easy, but it's who I am. I'm a coach, a veteran.
Today, Your Majesty. You dare challenge the King of England for liberty? Unhand me! Today, Your Majesty. You dare challenge the King of England?
The training floor with the campaign trail isn't easy, but it's who I am. I'm a coach, a veteran, and now I'm ready to serve. I'm in the gym every morning. Discipline, teamwork, accountability. Congress can...
President, I have
Magic cup. Around here, every latte comes with a little bit of wonder. Watch